Okay,
Hey,
hi, this is Paul Slakis. I'm with Danielle Brody, a good friend for many years. Hi, how are you?
good. How are you?
I'm good. Actually, I know even when you were born, you had a pencil and a pen to drawing, and we're going to talk about a new cartoon book, Hanukkah. I had a little dread. Hanukkah in your hands is now available. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
In print and ebook, an interactive, inclusive guide to understand the Festival of Lights with original illustrations by Danielle, right? And
Exactly.
recipes by you? Are they
No, no. I reached out to other chefs and they contributed recipes to the book.
cartoons? That's you, yes.
I did that.
Okay, and opportunities for learning, and that'll be you too, since you put the book together. So
Yeah.
tell us about Hanukkah in your hands. What's it all about?
So it is, like you said, it's an interactive cartoon book. It tells the story of Hanukkah in a fun and modern way. I did, we talked a few months ago because I made a Haggadah and for Passover, and that told the story of Passover in New York. And I wanted to do, and had all the rules and the whole ceremony of Passover. And so now Hanukkah is another big holiday that we celebrate. So I wanted to do a book and I wanted to, like my Haggadah, do it in a modern way. So it kind of tells the story of Hanukkah, but I'm the guide. So I have the book here. My that is supposed to be me. I'm like the guide throughout the book.
Exact replica.
Yeah, I mean, I like the drawing a lot. I want to look like that. But
Oh,
so
I like
I'm
it.
in the book, I'm kind of telling the story of Hanukkah to like a group of other characters. And so they're asking questions like, wait, isn't it the same time as Christmas? And do you get presents? And I'm kind of, they have just like little commentary like throughout the story, which I think gives it sort of like an updated and fun twist. And then after that initial story, because it kind of sets the scene and you understand like why we're celebrating Hanukkah, it gets into a guide to the 8 nights. So on each night, I have a different idea or fun fact. So like night one, I just kind of show exactly how to light the menorah because every year I need a reminder. So it's kind of like not like this. And, I show how to light it. So this is sort of like an all-in-one guide. And then other nights I have like cartoons. I have night 5, you can like draw. There's like a spot at the bottom to draw. And I also have recipes throughout. So one night is a few locker recipes, applesauce, and those are all sourced from people I kind of know. They're not my recipes, but I got permission to print them, obviously. And I doodled all of the chefs. So there's one, Jennifer. She gave us a locker recipe.
Not a
Um,
real picture of Jennifer, or did you draw that?
I drew it. Yeah, and there's Jeffrey. I drew him.
You drew him. Those are really good pictures.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
very good. I bet you they really look like the person.
It does, yeah. Well,
What
I
is
have
Go on, please.
no, I have a tablet and that helps. Because you can kind of like this is my secret, but it's probably what everyone does. You can kind of trace them. Um, but it definitely takes some time to make it look just like them. But I think they're nice. So each chef is doodled, and
So
I
a
worked with a collaborator who kind of drew some of the other pictures.
lot of doodling going around. Tell me, you got an applesauce recipe there? Give me Jennifer's recipe. Or give me some recipe. I want to hear a recipe.
So one of the most interesting recipes. So okay, my sister moved to LA, and her roommate. I know we were living together in New York for the last book. Her roommate's mom was born, they're Jewish. The mom was born in Afghanistan and grew up in Israel. So she has a really interesting background. And after I did a lot of research for the book, my sister was like, you've got to talk to Ahuva. And that's the roommate's mom's name. And I've never met Ahuva. She was in LA, but I called her and she kind of filled in some of my knowledge gaps when it came to Hanukkah, which was really helpful. And she, over the phone, gave me her recipe for donuts, also called sufganiyot. So one of the recipes in here is like making your own donuts, which I thought seemed really hard. But now that she walked me through the recipe, it seems doable. I haven't done it yet. And then she also gave me a recipe for this Afghani pilaf, which seems like there's a lot of steps involved, but definitely sounds really good. It's like rice and vegetables and lamb, and you kind of like let it sit for hours and it gets really like aromatic. And then like the bottom gets hard and crispy.
What inspired your writing? What inspired your drawing? Why are you doing this?
It's a good question. Well, I always drew as a kid, like for fun, and it helped me kind of express myself and tell stories. But I did the Haggadah. Well, I started drawing again during the pandemic because I had time on my hands, and it kind of just helped. Like it was an anxious time, and just kind of getting off my computer and drawing was fun and kind of a stress reliever. And I've just made so many cartoons since then. Like I've just kept it up. And the Haggadah, I was inspired because in 2020, my family is Jewish and we celebrate the holidays, but we're more on like the secular Jewish side. So we were hosting our own Seder. It was just three of us in 2020, and it was kind of lame. And I just felt like we needed like the Haggadah we had wasn't good. It was convoluted. It was too complicated. We were struggling to read the Hebrew and the prayers. So because of my experience and because I was doing some doodles about Jewish things already and people were liking them, that's what inspired the Haggadah. And I just made a book that I would want, like with my family, that would be helpful for us. And I actually looked at like 3 or 4 different Haggadahs, and they were all just so complicated, and I like to simplify things, and drawing kind of helps get messages across. And because the Haggadah was successful, I thought I would do a book for Hanukkah too, but it was a little harder because these things, a Haggadah is a little more obvious what you need to do in it, but this, it could have been anything. So I kind of used the Haggadah as sort of a guide, like, all right, this is going to be a clear guide and it's going to have everything you need. But it was a little creatively, it didn't pour out of me like the Haggadah did. This one took like some more thinking to get it. We're talking to people like, what should I put in it? Someone was like, you could have coloring. Someone was like, suggested recipes. So this one, I feel like I got more ideas from other people.
Oh, that's nice. What for Hanukkah itself, since I am Jewish, what is something that you learned that you didn't know previously?
Gosh, I learned a lot of things actually. Okay, one thing I learned is that so when we light the menorah, like there's a certain way to do it, and apparently there were 2 rabbis that both had like their own following, and they disagreed about how to light the menorah. So one rabbi said you should light all 8 and then go down to 1 each night. So night 1 is 8 candles, and then night 2 is 7, and you go down to 1. And the other rabbi, Rabbi Hillel, said, no, we should like build upon it each night to kind of represent the miracle and like this positive, it's more positive to kind of like build up the number. So that is why we light the candle.
Wow, that Hillel, he was a smart one.
Yeah. So one thing in the book is like it kind of talks about that story with a drawing of the 2 rabbis, and then at the bottom it says like, what do you think is better? Talk about it with your family. And then the next page, or talk about it amongst yourselves. And then the next page is like, okay, now that you might have had a disagreement, let's move on to the prayers. So I have like the drawings of the 2 rabbis, which I think are very cute.
Very nice.
So yeah, there are a lot of interesting facts, like about one other one, apparently the Maccabees. So there's some songs. I also built a playlist, and there's some songs that say like Judah and Hammer. So apparently like Judah Maccabee is one of the Maccabees, and Maccabee apparently is a word for hammer in Hebrew. I don't think it's modern Hebrew, but that kind of came up a lot in my research too.
Really? Oh, wow. Ah, that's exciting. This is beautiful. Well, I wish you a lot of luck. Hey, where do you, a lot of mazel. So where do we go to get the book?
So you can buy it on daniellandoodles.com. There's at the top of the page, it says Hanukkah 2021. So you can get it there. And I have this print book, and I also have it as an ebook. And if you live in LA, I partnered with some friends that are selling really cute Hanukkah cards, and they have a table at the Melrose Trading Post Flea Market. So they have some books that they're going to be selling next Sunday.
Oh, great. During Hanukkah.
It's the first day of Hanukkah, so it's perfect. I'm sending my sister over for me since I'm not over there.
Oh, that's great. Well, this is wonderful. Congratulations. I'm going to dedicate this whole outreach. I'm dedicating your outreach to your parents, who I love dearly, both.
And that is a perfect way to end, because did you know that Hanukkah means dedicated?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Another fun fact.
There we go. Great job. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you and the family, and keep up the good work. I love the last one. I'm looking forward to checking this out. And I'm going to share that Hillel fact with our family on Thursday at the Thanksgiving dinner. It's interesting. It's something to think about. Do you break down, or do you build up?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
campus. Yeah, no, it's very, very interesting. Danielle, congratulations.
Thank you, Paul.
You take care. I'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.